You know what we really need to talk about? We need to talk about Star Wars. I'm not talking about The Last Jedi, of course. I'm talking about every movie. And every movie's sterling scripts and appropriate character names. Three-dimensional characters everywhere. And everybody's unanimous love for the first 7 episodes. Because we have a lot of people asking recently, especially important magazines like Forbes, which... Can we please stop pretending with Star Wars The Last Jedi is a box office bomb? Can we please stop? Please stop! There's not one Forbes article. There are 2 Forbes articles about Last Jedi hate. Here's another one. Why do so many Star Wars fans hate The Last Jedi? Is this both Scott Mendelson? These are both Scott Mendelson articles. What a douche. Everyone just hates The Last Jedi because there's a strong woman in it. Idiot. Everyone hated episode 1 because of Jar Jar Binks. People hated Return of the Jedi because of the Ewoks. Stop fucking pretending. Stop fucking pretending that it's a box office bomb. Nobody's pretending it's a box office bomb. Nobody pretended Avatar was a box office bomb, moron. Nobody said Avatar was a box office bomb. Who is saying Last Jedi is a box office bomb? If we have problems with shit, it doesn't mean we're saying it's a financial failure. Avatar is a ripped-off story. Avatar has retardedly one-dimensional characters. Avatar's not a bomb. It doesn't mean that we can't have issues with it. When people who don't precisely agree with their aesthetic attitudes say, just because it made tons of money doesn't mean it was technically perfect in every aspect. Just stop hating on strong women! Dude, people have had problems with the Star Wars franchise since Star Wars began. People have made fun of it as a space opera since 1977. It's taken the name space opera and turned that into a positive thing. And great for all the fans of that. But guess what? People have been making fun of fucking Star Wars since the beginning of Star Wars. If there's anything that we need to stop pretending, we need to stop pretending that everyone lionized and made Star Wars this godly thing that everyone unanimously loved. That has never been the case, Scott. Never been the case. We look to be about the same age. I have more hair than you. But clearly you don't remember when Lucas re-released the first 3 films when we were probably in our late teenage years, and people were flipping shit that he added stuff to it. People flipped shit about Jar Jar Binks in episode 1. People flipped shit about how bad an actor Hayden Christensen was in episode 2. People have flipped shit about Star Wars since Star Wars existed. And the real thing here, I could mostly give a shit about Star Wars. I'm interested in the fucking political aspect of this. This pretend political aspect where Washington Post. Is a men's rights activist sabotaging The Last Jedi's review scores, or do people just hate it? Really important questions when democracy is about to die in darkness, Washington Post. I'm glad you're covering all the issues that really matter when there's a Nazi, as you say, in the Oval Office. It's real. I'm glad that we're able to focus on the things that are really endangering people's lives and endangering the democracy of our country, like people hating on Star Wars, because that's never happened before. People have never hated on Star Wars before. It's all the alt-right and the MRAs that hate it. Anyone who doesn't like, fucking Lucas's franchise and all this crappy space opera writing that's been happening for 40 years, it must be because they're from the alt-right. here's Vox, and Vox is not really like Washington Post or Forbes. I'm going to call Forbes here. I'm going to call Washington Post here. Vox is just garbage. But the backlash against Star Wars, The Last Jedi, explained. Well, of course it's because there's a strong woman in there. That's why everybody hated it. That's why everybody hated Episode 1. Because Jar Jar Binks was such a fucking strong woman. And because little Anakin Skywalker, he was such a strong woman. That's why everybody hated Episode 1. They hated the re-release of Episodes 4, 5, and 6 because the creature that goes up on its hind legs and then comes down again, that was a strong woman. That's why they hated that so much. So I'm glad that you guys are all out here to defend this film, because without your defense, it wouldn't have made the $1 billion that it made already. Okay? Then we have all of you people still out there complaining, there's not enough strong women in roles, and there's just not enough strong women in roles. On my Twitter, I retweeted this article that said the top 3 grossing movies in 2017 have had a 3-dimensional strong woman role. Is that not the goal? Is that not the news you've been looking for? So you have this bragging right. The top 3 movies, top 3 grossing movies from 2017 have all been women driven by a strong female character. You want to dance around and call that victory, but at the same time, there are people from your camp still claiming that there's no strong women in film. Listen, either you won 2017 and there are strong women in these roles, or that didn't exist and we still need... You need to pick one. You gotta pick one. I could give a fuck about Star Wars, but I troll Twitter, of course, and I hang out in these spaces where people are flipping about unreasonable shit, and I add a unnecessary, unwarranted, and unwatched. Nobody's gonna watch this YouTube video. I make fun of the people who are flipping about this shit as if it mattered. Honey, Episode 8's gonna be fine without your little Twitter crusade. It's made $1 billion, and some of your friends have written articles about how it's made $1 billion, and so you won. If you won, then you're not victims anymore. Then we're not eliminating strong women-driven roles or films from Hollywood, because there they are. They exist. Tons of people love them. They made tons of money. What the fuck are you complaining about? You need to fucking pick your narrative and go with it. You seriously do. Because this shit where you're splitting the difference and saying, oh, we need this. Oh, we have this, so what do you think of that? Which is it? Which the fuck is it? You need to pick something. But in the meantime, I'm never gonna watch the last 3 movies. I don't give a shit about Rogue One. I didn't give a shit about The Force Awakens. It took nearly an act of Congress for me to watch Episode 3 because I disliked Hayden Christensen's acting and Lucas's storyline for those prequels so much. It was totally stupid. Yes, I was one of the idiots standing in line at midnight when Episode 1 came out. And all of these movies have elements in them that are sterling, that are fantastic. There are scenes in the original 3 movies that I can go back and watch and really get into. Because it's nostalgia value. And, you know, the sound editing in Episode 1 is fucking fantastic in a few of those scenes. There's a couple scenes in Episode 1 that are fucking great. Episode 2 and 3, I barely remember. I can't really comment on them. I saw each of them once, I think. And the third one I saw maybe 7 years ago, which is probably a decade after it came out. I don't even remember at this point. The point is, stop making a crusade For hate against hate, I got a crusade against hate. For a film that makes $1 billion, you're making yourself look like a bunch of fucking retards. Yes, you're morons. Stop. Stop. The movie speaks for itself. Its merits, its income, its gross rather. All of those things speak for themselves, alright? You're not going to convince your political enemies to like things you like with a fucking stupid little fucking essay. This Scott Mendelson guy, I cover the film industry. Do you, Scott? I just wanted to get this out there, just to the public mind, because I cannot believe how whiny we have become as a generation. And I say that because I imagine Scott is in my generation. And the fact that there's 2 different articles about why is there so much Last Jedi hate? Fucking get over it, dude. If you like the movie, that's fantastic. Push the movie to your friends and your family and your audience and you HuffPo or Salon or whatever. Stop asking why do other people hate it. People like different shit, dude. It's okay. It's something you probably should have gotten over sometime in grade school. It's okay, Scott. It's okay for different people to like different things. It's gonna be alright. Disney has a hold of your precious franchise now. Disney's not gonna let anything happen to it. You're gonna be okay. You and your strong women characters and your space operas. Scott, everything's gonna be fine. Calm the fuck down. And maybe next time there's a perceived backlash against a film you like, maybe the one article will do, Scott. Maybe just one article. Thanks. Have a good fucking night.